Well, as you can see by the picture tonight, I was roughly about 150 yards from this scene on a head-on collision. A single occupant, a local senior at one of our local schools, just turned to 17, been driving here recently by himself. It just got done downpouring, and the kid went to go stop at a stop sign at a corner and wasn't able to stop in time and ended up doing a head-on collision into a tree tonight. This scene could have been a whole lot worse than what it was. My max where I can hobble to outside of my chair, it took me a little bit longer than it would normally take if I was in my chair and hobbled over there and ended up doing first response on a head-on collision to a tree with a 17-year-old male and keeping him talking, keeping him coherent, pulling C-spine, immobilizing his neck and uh, head as much as I could. There was a local soccer coach, just so happened to be the same school. He knows his son, knows the coach, helps with both football and soccer. And when he got there, he helped while I was both hands, my legs were holding his head, my arms were holding his neck, and his head completely straight. I had the coach end up patting the kid down, making sure there was any hidden injuries, any incisions, anything we could not see right offhand for a good 10, 15 minutes for the first deputies ride. And I kept going. My back, arms, everything's paying for it right now. I've got legs kind of scratched up. I can't really feel my legs, so I'm a little scratched up from helping, but I'm sore. I'm regretting it, but at the same time, God gives you the knowledge, the tools, and He puts you where you need to be when you need to be there. So I'm kind of rebranding this, and especially after tonight, I'm rebranding it to be the light of the dark. Be that light in the darkest of nights, the darkest of days. Be that light. The calming, the reassuring, being there when this kid needed somebody the most. It's not the first time that God's put me in a situation like Corinne McClurkin to help her be there when she needed somebody the most, somebody she could trust and confide in. But it just goes to show where your local police department, even your local fire department, some EMTs you might know, they give classes and give you the knowledge, the tools. So when you need to be there for someone like I was there for this child tonight, it wasn't just me watching out for this kid tonight. Even this kid's father, when he came, seen the shape of that vehicle totaled, when it hit that tree head on at least a decent amount of speed, it rebounded off the tree a good 3.5, 4 feet back after the impact. It rebounded that car at least 3.5, 4 feet from where it initially made contact. So you had at least enough speed. I'm not sure what the speedometer or anything read. Kid had at least enough speed and was trying to slow down. I could hear the screeching. I could hear him put on the brakes. Heard the impact. Already knew instinctively. You heard a smack. It was a vehicle into a tree. I had my brother going around looking, making sure there's no other occupants of the vehicle. Uh, this poor kid was out dazed, kind of walking, kind of. You have to remind yourself he had airbags. Everything happened so all of a sudden. This kid had no clue what he was doing. He's walking around in a daze. But my best thing, and especially with this coach that came down and helped, to keep the kids' mind off of everything that just happened, to keep them from going out of shock. Like I looked at the neighbor, the coach. I mentioned to him, I was like, the kid's shaking, has me a little scared right now. I don't want him going into the S word. He knew what I was talking about. Did not want the kid going into shock and kind of freezing up. So he's talking about his son. You might know me. I'm a coach here at your local school, the school you go to. My son is a fellow senior. Kept this kid calm tonight. So the people in my little community, it goes to show you, even if you're having a bad intent, if you get harmed near us, you and I hesitate to be there in your time of need. Even if you attack one of us, we will render aid like we did tonight for a complete stranger. There was a community that came together, small community where I live, came together of nothing but strangers helping a child we never met, someone we didn't know. Keep this child calm. And like I said, it was good 5, 10, 15 minutes before the actual EMTs showed up. And even when the deputies showed up first, they were like, if you're getting tired or if you need to trade out, we can trade out. Like they would have done the same thing, put the kid's head between your knees and the fat of your legs, kind of immobilize his head, then hold C collar because none of us had a C collar. But like I said, God puts you where He needs you when He needs you to be that light in that darkness. Somehow, I've been there at the right place at the right time. More than one case, and I'm glad tonight, other than the little bit of blood I got on my hands, wasn't any worse than what it could have been. What it could have very well been. If he was going any faster and hit that tree with any greater speed, I hate to see how tonight would have been. And one thing I am going to hound and let you guys know. Look up Sheridan Police Department's Chris Critter Green YouTube video they made. Do not drink and drive. This child was, from what I could tell, was not under the influence of anything tonight. It was just he made a mistake, and it could have been a very costly mistake. But like even the kid agreed, and his dad, when he came and seen that scene, the shape of that vehicle, the size of that tree, the amount of damage to that vehicle, even his dad came over and looked. Like I tried calming this kid down. The car's got insurance. The car can be replaced. You can't. Even the dad agreed. You had somebody watching over you tonight. And like I gave this kid some wisdom. I was like, you're freaking out and everything right now. But one thing, I just need to keep you calm, coherent. Just stay with me, keep talking. Uh, was making sure, like, eye twitching or anything like that, any head trauma. So I was with the flashlight kind of checking pupils and kind of making sure eyes weren't shaking and kind of going all crazy on me. Any other further injuries? This kid walked away, and I'm not sure on the extent of his injuries, but the type of wreck he just had tonight, it's taken lives, and it's taken Chris Critter Green out of Sheridan. He was going to help his girlfriend, who happened to be driving drunk, went head onto a tree. We lost him. Like I told this child, God was watching over you tonight. He has plans for you. Who knows? You might be the next person to go on and do great things, become even my own hero one day. God has plans for you. He put me here. I wish I was here sooner, but He put me where I needed to be with the tools, the knowledge, and if you look at my community wall, my turnout gear when I was on a rescue squad, He gave me the knowledge, the tools, and the knowledge, the wisdom, what I needed to be where He needed me. Kind of gives me flashbacks, more like when I stopped to help Karina, helped her, what I felt that night. It's given me some flashbacks, like the PTSD I've been having issues with until she was picked up, and look on her face. She went from scared to feeling like she was rescued when she was picked up that night. But one thing that, even while I was helping this child, was if they see me I'm as good as dead, was flashing back in my mind. The same feelings I had that night, somebody's watching me, that spine chilling feeling, it reared its ugly head, but I knew I had been given the chance to be at the right place at the right time, be there when somebody needed me the most, have the knowledge, the skills, the know how to keep this child from any further harm. Whatever injuries he has sustained, I pray to God a quick healing. This newly senior at a local school, God told him tonight was not his night. He has plans for this child, and I could see this child going on and doing great things in this world. God just put me at the right place at the right time with the tools that I needed, the knowledge, the wisdom, the know how to further keep this child safe, sound, secure, coherent, talking. And thanks to this coach, this child knowing him and his son kept this poor kid out of shock. He was starting to do the whole shake thing and kind of hyperventilate. If it wasn't for this coach calming this kid down like the way he did, he's a part-time, he helps with the football team, the varsity football team, as well as the soccer team. He's the head coach. This coach did an amazing job tonight.